Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Sorry I'm so sweaty. I just got done with my half-hour walk and she's still overheating. So one thing, it's a non-issue, it's a total non-issue, but I was wondering like why, the Sydney Sweeney thing is pissing people off so much. Because it's like, did you not watch the ad? Did you not hear the ad? The girl has Down syndrome eyes, which no hate on Down syndrome. No hate on Down syndrome people, not at all. And her voice does not give intelligence, It's just like, why'd you fall for the bait so easy? Like, and what bait? That girl, you think that girl has incredible genes? Down syndrome eyes? And that vocal fry shit? Could you really? Guys, be honest. You could listen to that voice every day in, day out. You could listen to a girl talk with that voice. My God. And I mean, this is coming from somebody who I do believe I have a terrible voice. I hate listening to myself back. My voice is terrible. My boyfriend likes it. He likes my voice, and that's all that matters. I don't like my voice. But that girl's voice, I don't know. Maybe there's a guy out there who like my boyfriend is like, no, I like her voice. I like her voice. It sounds like she's, it seems like it took her 3,000 takes, no exaggeration, to get the lines right. Because it was just so, it just feels like it was taxing for her. I don't know. I'm sure she's a fine girl. I saw her shooting guns. Somebody says she's into guns. Great for her. I myself, my boyfriend just bought me a Glock, so can't hate on her too much, because quite honestly, having a gun is very important. Having a gun says a lot about you, actually. And so, and especially if you can shoot it as a woman, as anybody really, awesome. But I don't know. I don't get it. I couldn't even watch the whole ad because it was that annoying. It was so, like, everybody's saying it's like, it's a play on the Brooke Shields commercial that she did when she was like 15 or something, back in like the early 90s, late 80s, I'm not sure. But at least Brooke Shields was pretty, and her voice was, I mean, it was still that of a girl, but, fun fact, I was with my friend, and she took me to her, I believe, aunt's house, and I believe we were somewhere in California. I want to say it was the city of Carmel by the Sea, but I'm not sure. Actually, maybe not even. It might have been in San Jose. I don't know where I was. This was a while ago, but this was a beautiful home, incredibly wealthy people. And we were walking around the house, and we were in the kitchen, and I passed the fridge, and I looked at the pictures on the fridge, not like intently, but like one caught my eye, because in my brain something said, oh, you recognize that person. And I had not met the lady before, the lady and her husband before. So I looked in the picture, because somebody in the picture I recognized. It was the woman who owned the house with Brooke Shields that past Christmas. They spent Christmas together. It's so weird. Everyone, like, we're all, what is it, like, six, what's the thing called? It's like we're six points of, I don't know what it's called, but like we're all like no more than 6 relationships away from like the Queen of England. Like, no matter who it is on this earth, like, we all have a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend who works with that person. It's so crazy. We're all just one, guys. We're all just one. And on eyes, eyeballs, eyes in general. I realized this the other day. What is up with, like, so, all right, what's Taylor Swift, Olivia Munn, Blake Lively, the really funny girl, Plaza, I can't remember, what's her name? Something Plaza, but you know who I'm talking about. Monica? No, I don't know. Parks and Rec girl. What do they all have in common? Super hot ladies. Super hot ladies. Arguably, like, at the top of whatever, genre of work they are in. But also, they all were born with hooded eyes. Where they don't have an eyelid. It's kind of like the Asians with the monolid, whatever, I don't know. They all were born with hooded eyes. Hooded eyes are very pretty. Like, obviously that's how they got in. They got in with their hooded eyes. But it's so weird because all of these girls, and there's so many other examples, so many of girls with naturally hooded eyes at some point well into their career. So they've already, kind of been established. They get the surgery to get the double eyelids. They get I think it's called a blepharoplasty. Why is that? Why doesn't, it kind of seems like more often than not, really, really successful actresses are born with hooded eyes, and then they get this. Why don't they just hire, like, women who had eyelids, right? Like, why? I don't understand. Like, if that is the pinnacle of beauty, why don't they just make those girls who already have them famous? Why do they keep choosing the girls with the hooded eyes who then have to inevitably go through this surgery? Like, I don't get it. I know some of it is because it's anti-aging, but I guess that's a lot of it. It's just like with hooded eyes, you start to get droop after a while, and like their eyes are already drooped over. So never mind. I solved it. It's all for anti-aging. It's not even. But I don't know. Like, a lot of those girls, right? They're not even 40 yet. But then again, I guess when you're a celebrity lady, to keep up in the game, you have to do stuff incrementally so that it's not really noticed, clocked by the public, so to speak. Like Blake Lively, right? That bitch has had, I believe, 4 nose jobs, and they were all very, very tastefully or incrementally done so as to be tasteful in terms of public perception. You don't want to come out right out with a perfect nose after you've had this schnoz your whole fucking career. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? There's something else. It's on the back. There's a sticky on the back of my phone, but I'm recording. I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I just don't get it. Like, why aren't we just hiring ladies with proper eyelids? Like, what's so hard in that? Obviously they'll probably get blepharoplasties too, but I guess it would actually be more of a facelift. I don't know. Shut up. Who cares? Just weird. It's just, everything is just so strange, and I don't know. I'm feeling really stoked with, it's like I said in my second to last video, like, the clarity right now is just so cool. Like, and that's not to say, like, right, the Nick Fuentes thing is really popping off, but like, I don't think the point is to rally behind him. I mean, you can rally for him, sure, like, he's great, but I think the point of him is more so just to like get the point, get the big stuff down, where it's like, hey, the bullet points that people way before him were saying. America is under attack, right? We've had so many presidents where their final address to the country is like, hey, the military-industrial complex is really out of control, you guys. I basically wasn't in control the whole time. They were. Couldn't do anything, though, because they would have killed me. You saw what they did to JFK, right? Like, the CIA, we all know, is out of control. And then depending on what country you're in, like, you have a CIA. You might have our CIA, but you also have your CIA, right? You have the Mossad, I think, is Israel, and then the IDF. I don't know if they're really that, but I think it's Mossad. And then, right, the British people, they have, like, what is it, M6 or something? I have no idea. Some faggies who probably ride horses. Just kidding. So no, it's like, I think it basically, it's just out in the open, right? Like, people with over $10 million are a problem. They're a problem in your city, they're a problem in your county, they're a problem in your state, and they're a problem in this country. So anybody over $10 million, like, basically, I'm sorry, like, you had really better be keeping your side of the street clean. You better be treating your employees well. Oh, and on that, I wanted to clarify. So yesterday's video, the title is "Women Shouldn't Work." I'm gonna put an asterisk after that, because you know what? No, I believe women should work, but I don't believe that they should lead. Let me clarify. If a woman wants to write a book, if a woman wants to be a sole proprietor, look into that if you really want to. Side note, if you want to be like a business person, but like the thought of an opening an LLC is just really overwhelming to you, look into sole proprietorship. It's cheap, it's easy, boom, bam, boom. By tonight, you could be a sole proprietor, and you could be working for yourself, making money, have a tax ID code, everything. It's very easy. But if a woman wants to be a sole proprietor, which means that you basically don't have any employees, if she wants to write books, if she wants to be a mathematician, right, like solve problems, I don't know, for universities, I don't know, somehow she'd get paid for it, I think that's okay. I think if a woman wants to be, again, a sole proprietor, or just do something wherein it's just her, more power to women doing that. We need more women doing that, because that means that she's thinking and she's contributing. But I do not believe that women should work in office situations, in management situations. Women cannot lead. They cannot, because they can't stand other women. Maybe there could be a test, like a personality test, like a check over, to, maybe filter out the 0.1% that can. But for the most part, or maybe she has to be in menopause. But if she's pre-menopause, if she, is somehow, we can tell she's deemed too emotional, has a bias towards women, no. I've never had a good, well, actually, I've had one good female manager. Actually, my very first job, basically my first real job at a grocery store. Connie, you were a real one. You were a real one, okay? You treated us all with respect. Even us dumb 16, 17-year-old girls, you were very kind. You were very sweet. Unfortunately, I think it's because she was in an abusive relationship and she didn't have very good self-esteem. But she was a fucking real one. And she's the only one. I've been working 17 years since. And yeah, no, none have passed the test of being deemed, in my book, as a good manager. The female ones, anyway. yeah, I just, I don't like wide paintbrushes. I don't think all women should be stay-at-home moms. I don't think all women should be even moms. So I do believe women, if they want to be out in the world, they can, but you're on your own, bitch. Like, you're not gonna make any other woman's fucking life miserable. Like, you don't get that fucking right because, just because you didn't have kids or, you slept with the boss. Like, unless she fucking earned it, and again, she has the brain of a man, I just don't. It's proven itself to not be a successful setup because it's too much. It's just too much. It's too much emotion. It's too much annoyance. So yeah, my coworker, she would not pass the test, so she could not run a business, and yeah, she should not be working with other women. Absolutely not. I doubt she should even work with men, quite honestly. Like, I don't think men and women should work together. I don't. It can be done. It can easily be done. I mean, my ass, literally, my first real job, like after the first real job, but like the first real job, like, got up early, had a set schedule, had a commute, wasn't a grocery store job. I was 18 and I worked in a warehouse full of, like, with 500 men. 500 men, probably half of them studs. But did I mess around with any of them? Did I even flirt with any of them? No, because I was in a relationship, and my brain, when it's in a relationship, it's 100% like, I will not look at another. I just don't even, like, even if it's not like the best relationship which arguably, all my previous ones to this one were not right? Still didn't cheat on them, would not have ever thought to cheat on them. Like, absolutely not. All of my previous relationships ended ultimately because the man proved himself to be unable to be my man. And that's fine, there were different reasons. Some of them were too young, some of them were too immature, some of them were just, I don't know, what was the last one? Just not for me, right? Like, ISTJ superego, haunted forever by that relationship. But still, I learned a lot, and I am grateful. And overall, I cannot complain because he's a good man. Just, I don't know. ISTJs, they really freak me out, man. They're such an interesting type. Yeah, they're very interesting. Militant, cool, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a girl I used to watch all the time. I kept up with her, but now it's like, because her life is just boring. She's a model, and it's the same thing. Oh, I'm going to Ibiza. I'm going to do a photo shoot. I'm going to LA. I live in London. I'm going to go get my nails done. It's very just repetitive, but, I watched her because she's an ISTJ. Her name is Madison Sarah. I'm fairly certain. It might be Sarah Madison, but it's literally two first names, so I can never get it right. But yeah, it's just like, man, ISTJs, they're so, I don't know. They're so normal that it gives normal a kind of bad look. I don't know how else to describe it, quite honestly. They're such a weird type. And, that's coming from somebody who turns into that right when I'm in burn down mode. But, it's when you're in burn down mode, like, your memory is, I don't think it's fully turned on, because it's more of just like, you know, burn this shit down and get done with it, and leave, and, you know, find safety, find the ego again. Conservation Corps, Conservation Corps. They're out here planting trees, wasting tax dollar money. If you could see, I'm surrounded by millions of trees, and they're out here planting more. Waste of taxpayer money, you fucking fucks. Anyway, yeah, just a weird rant today, but I wanted to get back onto like how I used to do this. I started this podcast, this YouTube channel, when I was working in cannabis, and like things would come in my head randomly, and I would scribble it on a note, and I would write down like 3 to 5 things, and I would just go through them, and it would tie always so beautifully together. It was so interesting. And you know, I just haven't had any sort of anything, so it's just kind of like which is fine, you know. I don't know, my uploads aren't like, they're not groundbreaking by any stretch of the imagination, but I would like to have that needle thread again. So anyway, you guys take care. Have a great day, night, morning, wherever you are. Bye.